It looks like online we have Cheryl Hartman, Christina Devar, Glenn Ingham, Heidi West, and Kat and Mel Fisher. In 206, we have Commissioner Strohmeyer and Bureau, Chris Lasbury and Hughes, Erica Grinday, and Kathy. We did Allison France, John Hart, and Carrie Powers. We have Rich Sporin, Elizabeth Erickson, Griffin Smith, Brennan Davis, and I get everybody. I think I got everybody. Went off my list instead of actually looking at your faces. So I think I got everybody.
Excellent. Is there any public comment on items not on the agenda today? Seeing none, let's roll into the consent agenda. We have 11 items today. Is there anything that anyone has questions about on the consent agenda?
That Rick is here. Does he want to? Do you want to talk, Larchmont?
Rick, is there anything that you want to say above and beyond what we discussed previously?
No, I'm just here. If you guys have questions, I'm
If you would be okay with just doing an overview of it, I just think we're gonna get some media interest in the video afterward, so.
Yeah.
sure. Is it just like
One can never know what the media might be interested in.
I'm glad that you would just, because I've been stopped in public and asked about this.
Yeah, it's funny. Last meeting, I didn't even realize we were going to be on. Everyone came and talked to me.
Here, maybe sit here so that.
Just pull up your shirt at the end of the table there, Rick. That's,
Yeah.
Griffin, feel free to ask direct questions.
Sure.
or not, if you don't.
That is fine too. So as I brought to the last, or I guess the last time we saw the commissioners, Larchmont is just proposing our first rate increase in 4 years. As you know, with the transition that we had last year between private course management and full county run operation, you guys brought in the National Golf Foundation. The National Golf Foundation, really the only thing that they saw, the negatives, were that we were undervalued and that we did not meet the industry standard as far as season pass rates go. The industry standard is if a typical person has a season pass, it should take 20 rounds to pay for that pass. Larchmont is currently at 17. So our rate increase just reflects that. We are going to, for just a standard adult season pass, 20 rounds will pay for that pass at this point, which that does create a higher increase than usual for just a season passes. To offset that, our daily fee increase and punch card increase was lower, just to keep it. So if for some reason we still feel like we are very affordable and it's a very good rate, and actually the people that I've talked to in our season pass membership have all been very supportive of it. They agree as, wow, it's a little bit of a jump, but it's still a very, very good deal. And I have had really nothing but support for it. But what we did with this daily fees, it's going to keep it. So if for some reason that is just a little too big of a jump for people, we still have the punch cards, and the daily fee is still very, very affordable. So people can still at least access the golf course.
And people get the discounted.
Correct. Yeah. So between Thanksgiving and Christmas during pro shop hours, current season pass holders will get 10% off of next year's season pass. And then we always offer 10% off of all punch cards at next year's rate, and daily fee rates as well.
And how does our season's pass price compare to other golf courses in the area?
We're still very undervalued. As opposed, and I'm not going to put out prices at there, but I did a little survey of all the golf courses, competitive golf courses in the area. Of course, there are, some resort courses and private courses that don't matter really, according to us. And we're still just about the least expensive that there is.
So even with this, we're still the least expensive.
We are, yes.
I feel like that's super important given
Yes.
we are a municipal.
And that's what we want at Larchmont. We want to make sure that it's accessible to all players and still have a great product for them too.
And just to reiterate, maybe even for Griffin, that this reflects our being undervalued, not an increase in cost due to public management.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. It's a due it's a due increase. And we would have, if there hadn't have been a transition, we probably would have increased rates last year. But we felt that, one solid year under the new structure at the same rates was a good idea.
Thanks.
Rick,
Thank you.
Yes.
any questions about anything else on the consent agenda? Yes, Griffin.
Just to ask it, were there any other ways you can shore up your costs?
Public subsidies?
Cuts. No, part of the great part of Larchmont is we have an incredible maintenance crew. And they work essentially as a skeleton crew. We do not have excess employees. We do nothing in excess out there. We just have a great crew that creates a very great product for the public to use. And unfortunately with that though, we have our costs are increasing. Power costs, in inflation with everything. We have new equipment needs that have to happen. And that unfortunately just creates, as those prices go up, then so does everything else happen.
And then the storm, I was over by Larchmont the other day, saw quite a bit of piles.
Yeah.
Is that still affecting you?
Yeah, it is. But again, those guys, we had the golf course open 2 days after the storm, which is remarkable. The first onslaught of lost trees was over 140 trees. They had it safe and playable 2 days later. And it's incredible. But we'll still be cleaning up and doing repairs for probably the next year.
The gift that keeps on giving.
It is.
Thanks, Rich. Any other questions about it?
I move we pass this consent agenda.
Second.
Further discussion or comment on the consent agenda? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Thanks, Rick, for joining us. You can stick around if you want, or you don't have to.
I'm the only one working, so I got to get back and
Only golf item.
answer the phones.
Nice hat.
Thank you.
I
I wore it on purpose. I got one. Thanks, you guys.
Is the internet back?
What's that?
The internet back?
Yes.
Okay.
It was the
The phone's
worst.
working.
You never realize how much you rely on the internet until you don't have it. No phones and no.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Thanks.
Heidi West out there.
I am here.
Heidi, the next four items are yours related to Missoula Children's Theater. So let's just do all these as a group.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, there are 4 items in front of you today. They are all related to Community Development Block Grant Economic Development application that Missoula County is working on behalf of MCT. Most of these are fairly standard with CDBG applications. So the first one is to just authorize us to submit an application. The second item is a certification of application. And then the next 2 are unique to this particular program. So we have a subrecipient application certification that just formalizes our relationship with MCT as the subrecipient of this grant. And then because it's an economic development grant, which is either a job creation or job preservation grant, you also need to approve a hiring and training plan as a part of this application. And basically what this plan enshrines is that any jobs that come open during the duration of this project need to be marketed to individuals that meet the LMI category. So the jobs need to be low barrier, don't require specialized training, and they also are going to work with the job service to be able, if any come open, to backfill these. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Griffin.
Yeah, just wrapping my head around this. So MCT, I remember last week, is trying to fix their roof. So is this a way for them to get, extra money to fix the roof? Your county's not directly fixing the roof.
No,
So-
we're not in the roofing business. We're applying for a grant, federal money that goes to the state on behalf of MCT. So no local taxpayer dollars are going to do this. This is federal money going to the state. We are applying for a grant on their behalf.
Heidi, could you recap for us precisely all the uses to which these dollars will be put?
Yep. So it'll cover both a roof repair, so it'll redo the entire roof, and then the rest will go to a solar installation on that roof. So it has to be done at the same time. And the total amount that's being applied for is $525,000, 8% of which will go to Missoula County as administration fees, and then the remainder covers the cost of the project.
We went through a request for proposals process and NCT was the only respondent, so.
And our applying for the grant is in no way a guarantee that the grant is awarded.
Oh, and do you have a timeline on maybe when you'll get a response?
Yeah, I do. So we are hoping to submit this the first week of December. It probably will take the state about 4 to 6 weeks to get back to us, letting us know whether or not we were funded. And then it takes about 4 to 6 months to actually enter into a contract with the state of Montana. And our goal is that if we are funded, that we would start or MCT would start the roof repairs in the summer of 2025. And it should be a fairly quick project. So we're hoping to have all of this wrapped up by the end of next year.
Good. Yep. Any other questions, comments?
Thanks, Heidi. I move to approve items 1 through 4.
Second that.
Thanks for your perseverance of being so creative.
All right, well, thank you.
Further discussion or public comment on this item? These 4 items. Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, items 1 through 4 are approved. Item 5 is postponed. Item 6 relates to Glen Eagle. And that is the definition of the gift that keeps on giving.
We all have Glen Eagle tattoos.
Erica,
Not yet.
Erica, please fill us in and or, yeah.
Yeah, not yet, and this is not that item one. So in February of this year, I brought to you an exchange agreement between the county and SCB Enterprises and MTAC Land Holdings that set forth exchange of property held by the county that was of equal value to property held by these 2 entities. The idea was to exchange those properties to get ownership for the county shifted primarily to the southeast side of that southern portion, and then ownership between MTAC and SCB would be on that west side of the southern portion. What we're asking today is that the commission approve execution of deeds, escrow agreement, trail easement's not here today, escrow agreement and deeds that would capture what was agreed to between the parties. So it's essentially fulfilling the obligations that you all agreed to in February. Elizabeth Erickson's here to walk through those documents that you'll be signing today.
Yes, as Erica said, there are 3 deeds and accompanying realty transfer certificates. There's an escrow agreement with Fidelity National Title. And the trail easement that was on system is a draft still because both county staff and the grantors wanted to just fine tune some of the language related to trail construction and maintenance before signing that. But we've been working since before February to try to get this exchange agreement completed, and some of the challenges have related to dividing the common area in particular because it was one legal tract of record that couldn't be transferred separately. So these documents are a step in that direction of getting the land actually exchanged to consolidate the ownership as Erica described. And I'm happy to add any additional details or answer questions.
Questions? Chris, anything? No, Mr. Hart? No. I was in grade school when this subdivision being conceived. Very literally, yes.
Erica was not born.
Might be true.
Thanks for all your help.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
And thank you for perseverance. And it feels like every step it gets a little tidier. we're headed in the right
Yes.
direction. I feel like we've gone far away from going over a cliff and now we're heading solidly to a good solution.
Got about 19 years left with Missoula County.
Yeah.
So, you know, Insurance is really key. Yeah.
Okay, should we do this?
Yeah, I would move we get this one done.
Second.
Any further discussion or public comment or questions from?
We're wet signing this as soon as.
Oh.
Stay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Paired. So ends all of our business today, so I guess we're ready for the wet signing.
Should we get a photo?
Do this ceremonially.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, everyone. Goodbye.